And let's discuss the world in these extreme weather conditions. I have with me in the studio an environmentalist, Adetokunbo Ojikutu, and joining us via Skype is an environment journalist, Ugochi Oluigbo. Many thanks to the both of you for joining us on this hour. Now let me start with you, Ojikutu. Bushfires are a regular feature in the Australian calendar, but these blazes in New South Wales and Queensland have not been up to this scale, even before now. So how closely can the fires be related to or linked with climate change?
So to clarify, climate change can't make bushfires start. And like you said, bushfires are not irregular to Australia as a region, especially now in the summer months. But due to the patterns of weather for the last 3 years in Australia, they have seen very high temperatures, and this has led to the ferocity of the fires that they are experiencing today. The fires have been very devastating for the citizens in Australia because the fires have raced through communities and 20 people have been confirmed dead, 28 more missing. Over 15,000 homes and properties have been lost. It has even been more devastating for the wildlife in Australia because 500 million animals have been confirmed dead because of this fire. It's truly a devastating thing.
So just to get that clear, it is not, the fires were not started by climate change, but climate change is a contributing factor.
Yes, it's a contributing factor.
To the fire. Let's get to Ugochi now. Ugochi, when you look at the fact that political leaders are facing a backlash for batting away questions on this subject, it doesn't look like there is any willingness to combat climate change by any political leader or any world leader at all. How bad can this get?
I would say that this could be a reawakening to the world leaders, especially the Prime Minister of Australia, who we've known has not been actually supportive of climate change negotiations and have not really believed in climate change. I believe this could be a wake-up call to him, and he's been getting fired from Twitter and social media, from even leaders from other parts of the world who believe in this, who are telling him that this is happening, this is affecting your people, you need to believe in this, and you need to take leadership. It's not just about believing that, oh, something has really gone wrong, but you need to take leadership in saying that if we don't do something, my country will be affected. So Africa or Nigeria is no more the region with the most to lose. Now this devastation is going across the world. People are experiencing it, flooding in France, fires in Australia. It is going across the world, and it's time for leaders to wake up and take leadership. For example, for the Australian PM to take leadership and ensure that during climate negotiations, that political leaders are really interested, are really supportive of what environmentalists are saying, of what scientists are saying, that climate change is worsening the weather conditions around the world. Look at that fire that's created its own weather of its own, creating thunderstorms and all of that. So it is really, really devastating. And I believe with this happening, it might be a wake-up call for political leaders across the world.
All right, let's bring it back to Nigeria. We saw a bushfire recently, not so devastating, but there was a bushfire at the Port Harcourt airport. And also we've seen a situation across the country, the harsh weather conditions around the country, especially in places like Jos and Kano. What can Nigeria begin to do now to ensure that the impact of climate change, it's not this bad subsequently?
I mean, for now, it's happening. It's happening. All we can just do is to prepare for it and adapt for it. It's time for, all of us to just expect the unexpected. If it means getting warmer clothing, I mean, for those who are experiencing this cold, very extreme cold weather, it means layering. For now, all we can do really as citizens is to adapt. And as a government, I've said in previous discussions that we need to take our NDC seriously. We need to tackle gas flare. We need to take on transportation. We need to act, even though we contribute lead to climate change. It's time for us as citizens not to all just depend on the government, but to begin to adapt to situations. It's time for businesses or banks to provide agricultural insurance for farmers who are affected by climate change. It's time for companies to look into what is happening, support their staff, support people to adapt to what is happening. It is happening. It is real. We're seeing it. We're living it. It's time for us to just begin to adapt to the changes we're experiencing.
Ugochi said that this is not just a tax for the government. This is something everyone should get involved in. But a lot of people say that, look, the term might seem a bit too scientific for ordinary citizens, whether in Nigeria or out of the country, to understand. So how can we break this message down to the grassroots, just so everyone gets, on board?
Well, I believe that as citizens ourselves, we should try our best to educate ourselves and those around us about climate change and global warming. We should also, as she said, adapt to it. The effects we're already seeing the effects, so we should try our best to adapt to it and mitigate it, so the effects won't be as drastic as they're supposed to be. We should ensure that we also try our best to reduce emissions, our carbon footprint. We should ensure that we use the 3 R's of sustainability, that is reuse, reduce, and recycling. We need to ensure that we try our best as not only citizens of this country, but then as members of the world, to ensure.
I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. Okay. Environmentalist Adetokunbo Ojikutu, many thanks for your time. And environmental journalist Ugochi, many thanks for your time. And that's all.